Hello and welcome to a game between IdrA and qxc. qxc's are red, IdrA's are blue. Somebody's gonna get pwned and it's not gonna be you. This is GGFace and the map is going to be Metalopolis. IdrA will be playing as the blue Zerg player at the 12 o'clock position, and qxc is going to be playing as the red Terran player at the 6 o'clock position. This is a really good spawn locations for IdrA, and qxc is going to come over to the edge. The reason he is doing this is because most of the time the Overlord will be coming into the base of his opponent if they were directly next to each other, if IdrA were at the 9 o'clock location, because he does have an Overlord and he has spotted that his opponent is not going to be at the 3 o'clock location, and IdrA is going to be saving up a lot of minerals. It looks like he does have 200, so he would be putting down a spawning pool had he decided to do that, and instead a drone is going to come out in the meantime inside the base of qxc. There goes the hatchery. Inside the base of qxc there will be 2 sets of barracks going up, no refinery just yet, and 1 supply depot. I am super excited to see this series. It is going to be a best of 3, and this is still in the group stages, so whoever wins will get more points and whoever loses will not get as many points, of course. And hatchery at about 30% complete, and the spawning pool as well as the extractor, I suppose, is going to come up, and I believe he is going to go for the 15 hatch, 15 pool, and then 15, or no, maybe 16 even extractor. SCV coming into the expansion at the 3 o'clock location, and I believe he did spot that Overlord, so he probably will know that his opponent is going to be at the 12 o'clock position. More and more Marines are being pumped out. The first Marine along with the first SCV is going to head out right now. Orbital Command being morphed in, and we might see some very early pressure from a 2 racks build. Extractor is about halfway complete, and the first SCV is going to show up. He does see the hatchery directly outside the base, the natural expansion, and he will be building a bunker. This is a pretty good location for it, and we do see immediately 4 drones are coming off the line to harass this SCV. This SCV does get hit twice, and he is going to have to run for it. Bunker is incomplete. SCV showing up with another Marine. I believe there was a Marine. Marine is still a little bit behind there. I guess that Marine had one too many hamburgers, and this 4 drones was able to hold off that bunker, the force a cancel there, and 2 additional Zerglings are going to show up. This is a very tense one for both these players. If qxc succeeds, he will get a huge lead, but I think he has to put his bunker slightly behind because the creep, as you can see over here, is already spreading. Unit composition, we see 6 Zerglings and about 30 Marines, which is about even, and he does have an additional SCV to build in the back if he wishes, and he is going to go for it. IdrA is going to commit here. He does have 8 Zerglings, and the 8 Zerglings take out one of the SCVs, will be harassing these Marines back here, and he's also going to try to take down that SCV. The bunker is not yet complete. The bunker may finish in time as the Zerglings are rushing back to help. The bunker is finished, however, it is getting surrounded by Zerglings, and we can see that the bunker is going to get cancelled barely in time, around 30 HP. It did survive there, and I think IdrA is safe, relatively safe for now, so to speak. He will be scouting inside his opponent's base. He will see double barracks, more and more Marine being pumped out, and he will also see, this is a really important site, 1 command center and double refinery. So additional pressure will probably not be coming if his opponent is going to be investing so much in the infrastructure for the economy. Some Marines moving back to the middle of the tower. These Zerglings with their metabolic boost are on the way, and the Zerglings are going to die needlessly at the middle of the map, while some Zerglings are going to move back to the base of IdrA. IdrA is positioning his Overlord to go inside the base to perhaps check out some more stuff. And did I say no early pressure? I mean lots of early pressure. Metabolic boost is being researched, more and more Zerglings being pumped out. Army size is at 33 versus 38. Slight advantage for IdrA as he is going to be making more Zerglings. Zerglings coming in. The Zerglings don't have speed yet, so those Marines could still kite them quite a bit, and once those Zerglings get speed, the Marines will not have too great of a chance unless they're balled up, and there's a ton of them, because Zerglings could get that surround, and the surround would help tremendously against these Marines. And some Marines are maybe that's a misset rally point. These 2 Marines are wandering off by themselves. Metabolic boost is about to be finished in exactly 3 seconds, and I think he was spotted by these Zerglings. Zerglings coming in really fast and surrounded on both sides. Marines will go down. He does take down only 1 Zergling there, so about 100 minerals worth of units for 25. Not a great exchange there for qxc, as this Marine is going to go down as well. And of course, Marines are going to fall back, and this is a 3 racks barrier in between qxc and the outside world, and we do see a tech lab attached to a factory, and the Zerglings are still moving around in the middle of the map. And if we take a look at the vision of IDrA, he does not see these two factories that are going up. He is, however, checking out the natural expansion of qxc, and qxc is going to need to defend this. He does take down a lot of those Marines. I believe there was only about 4 or so Marines in exchange for a bunch of Zerglings. I think IDrA came out slightly ahead there. And moving the barracks over, he will be getting the tech lab, probably getting the stem for his units. And we see some Hellions. Hellions with the Infernal Pre-Igniter. Very, very good usage of that upgrade, because it is going to do extra damage to light units, and qxc is pumping out his economy hardcore at this moment as he's making more and more SCVs, and IdrA is focusing a little bit more on his tech build. He is going to get the Bailing's Nest already researching those centrifugal hooks, absolutely vital for the success of those Bailings, as it does allow them to move quicker. And Zerglings moving about the map. Population is going to be at 53 versus 63 at this moment. IdrA maintaining that lead, and income tab does show that both these players are about even. IdrA does have 4 gases, and he will be getting his 3rd base as well, even though the Terran player is only getting on his 2nd base. This is a really dangerous situation for the Terran player. The Balance can just come in here from the right hand side, go underneath, and kill a whole bunch of SCVs if qxc is not looking. And if we take a look at the unit composition, we see a lot of drones and SCVs, of course, as we expect, but there's only out on the field going to be only 12 of those things are going to be Zerglings, and 12 Marines and 6 Hellions. This is a really good position for qxc to go for a push here. qxc is coming to the middle, and IdrA will be able to spot it with the Zergling. He is going to see the blue flame upgrade for qxc as well if he were looking over there. And qxc is going to come inside the base, and there will be one queen over there spreading some creep, spreading some lovin'. And Hellions are coming inside. Hellions, ooh, one great toast there of Zerglings, I mean. And Zerglings are going down really, really fast. These Hellions making great work of those Zerglings. And he will also spot that another expansion is going to go for IdrA. And IdrA is going to go for Mutalisk. Mutalisk will be spawning really soon, and that will end the harassment of these Hellions. But these Hellions have already gotten 16 kills, not counting the one that actually died. And the Mutalisks are spawning, and the Hellions will probably have to retreat or die, or both. Hellions retreating at this moment, and some infantry are going to show up to possibly support it. And no, it looks like IdrA is going to decide to give up that chase, and army size is going to be at 91 versus 83, excuse me. And one tank is coming out. Siege tech is not yet complete. He just started researching it, so he will not have siege tanks for this battle. Some Bailings being morphed in the back. Unit composition, a lot of Marines, 2 tanks, and 3 Hellions. And I believe those 3 Hellions are very, very low HP. Only 1 tank with this force, and he is going to push in here. This might be a mistake, as the tank does not yet have siege, and he is still going to go for it anyway. Bailings blowing up Marines, 2 Marines left, and no Marines left. Siege tank is going to go down. He does get 5 kills, but those 5 kills are on relatively cheap units on those Zerglings, I mean. Mutalisks have full control of the map at this moment, and if we take a look at the income tab, both players are about even slightly ahead for qxc. Even though he's only on 2 bases, those mules do help out quite a bit, as both players are going to be on 4 gases at this moment, and IdrA's doing some sort of harassment. We'll be ready to take down that tank, possibly. A tank does go down, and it's going to cost him 1 Mutalisk, and I think that's about even exchange. But the tank is very, very dangerous. You never want to have too many tanks as a Terran player, as a Zerg player against a Terran opponent. And the army is going to be a lot more of those Bailings are being morphed in at this moment. And qxc looks like he is about to expand, and ooh, this is a very Tetris-like defense from qxc. I like it, I like it. And Mutalisks are going to come in from the west side of the base, and he is coming inside, or maybe not. Upgrades are being researched by IdrA at this moment, as he's going to come in, possibly snipe off this reactor on the side. If you snipe off the reactor or the attachments to the buildings for the Terran player, it does hurt them. It does hurt the production, I mean. And IdrA still doing some further harassment. At the same time, he is going to go for his 4th expansion, 3rd expansion, 4th base at the 9 o'clock position. He is expanding like a madman. He also will be getting his 2nd upgrade for the melee attacks, as well as the 1st upgrade for the shields, as well as the flyer that was just complete, the flyer attack, giving those Mutalisks more damage and more speed. Just kidding, not more speed. And Creep Tumor is being spread at the moment, and army size is slipping heavily in favor of IDrA as he is pulling ahead about 30 or so population, and he still has full map control, making use of those mules, checking out his opponent whenever he pleases. And the Terran player is going to rebuild that reactor, and the reactor is going to possibly go down once again as it's really close, and he is going to lose the reactor this time. Marines coming in, trying to do some defense against these Mutalisks, but there's simply too many Mutalisks, and Marines chasing the Mutalisks out of the base, but I suppose he is safe now. He did put up a sensor tower at the lower right hand corner. There is one overlord to the side there. Mutalisks still flying around the map, and if we take a look at the size and the wealth of IDrA's army, he does have a lot of Zerglings, 55 to be exact, 20 Balings, and a ton of Mutalisks, ton being only 19. And these Mutalisks are going to take out these SCVs building these turrets, and I believe one of them was cancelled, or maybe I think it actually was taken down. And perhaps a misset rally point, or maybe a scouting unit for qxc there, as IDrA is taking firm control of this map, and I think of this game. And if we take a look inside the base of qxc, he is making a lot of Marines. Marines are great against Mutalisks. However, if they were to run against Balings and those tanks are not siege, he would have a huge problem, as these tanks are getting actually pushed around by those Marines. I think they're deciding to wage war on IDrA very soon, as IDrA is going to come in here and harass the expansion of qxc. He does take down one turret. He does not care at this moment. He is going to take down the turrets, even though it's not an efficient way to spend those Mutalisks, and I think he did lose one or two Mutalisks over there. And those Marines are going to be able to take down 2 additional Mutalisks, as those Mutalisks, 3 additional Mutalisks, as those Mutalisks were retreating. And these Marines did get a bunch of kills on some of them. And as we take a look at what IDrA is doing, IDrA is thinking about grabbing the middle expansion. I don't think qxc should allow this, because that will make it extremely problematic for him to get back into the game. And we see a greater spire going on. We may see some Brood Lords, as a pack of Zerglings along with some Mutalisks are charging across the middle of the map. Zerglings are going to go to the natural expansion, or maybe not 2, are going to go in to see what he is going to be dealing with. A pack of Mutalisks at the same time going around the side, and Zerglings coming in, and these tanks are not siege. Tanks are not siege. Marines running forward, Zerglings running forward, Banelings coming in, tanks are sieging, and the tanks are not going to be able to siege in time. And there is so much destruction. All the Marines have died and perished, and there's 2 Thors in the back. And that was a great play there by IDrA, catching qxc off guard. He did not have time to get those tanks siege. If those tanks were siege, he would have a much greater chance against that sort of Zergling and also Balings. And a drop occurs on the side, as IDrA probably not going to cancel this, as some Mutalisks are going to come back here, and Mutalisks are going to start picking away at these Marines. He is going to lose more Mutalisks, I believe, but this is not going to be too costly for IDrA, as IDrA have so many bases, so much resource, and only slightly ahead of the Terran player by only 300. That is the power of the Mule, as the Mules are coming around for the 5th time, or maybe the 6th time. This time they're going for the supply depot. A great idea there. Supply block your opponent and force them to rebuild the supply depot, and temporarily preventing them from making more and more units. And he will be able to get 1, 2, 3. No, that's only 2 so far. And the CVs are going to hop and repair that. Only 2 casualties of war, 2 supply depots. And IDrA is going to take his half of the map now, as there is a lot of drones on this line. Only 3 drones, I mean. I thought there was a lot more. And Mutalisks are coming around the edge of the map, along with a lot of Zerglings, some Balings, and 2 Infestors. 2 Infestors will be able to hold those units in place if he could get a good Fungal Growth off. And qxc is thinking about taking his 3rd expansion, 4th base, as the Marines are just hanging out at the upper right hand side. And it looks like qxc is going to go for a push. He does have 3 Thors and a pack of infantry, and also a couple of tanks. It looks like he is going to go for the middle expansion. The tanks, once again, are not siege. Marines, and oh, he ate a Fungal Growth, will be standing still, and looks like this time he is not going to siege those tanks. And ouch, that's gotta hurt. That is a lot of units disappearing to the giant ball of the swarm. And IDrA in a commanding lead right now, 200 versus 110 population size, and he can't actually make any more units, so he needs to keep on expanding or do some sort of damage as his opponent, ooh, that little Siege Tank was just dancing back and forth in the little circle of death among all those Brewlings. Brewlings coming inside the base. Siege Tank holding it down for qxc, but it is going to die. And qxc in a world of hurt right now, and we see 7 Ultralists being queued for IdrA at this moment, as IdrA, I believe, have taken game number 1. But once again, this is a best of 3 series, so anything can still happen should qxc come back the next game. I doubt he's going to be able to come back this game, and he does. GG. Hope you guys enjoy that. More will definitely be coming up very shortly, so see you guys at the next game. The SCVs are going to work, the drones are going to work, and we have some chatter between these two players. Let's see what it was all about. Sometimes this stuff do not make it into the final cut, but it does make it in here. I'm not sure exactly how much reading time to give, and not sure if I should be talking right now. Maybe I should, maybe not. Anyway, next game, see you, GG your face, and that is completely out of order.